Sam Taylor Wood, or better known today as Sam Taylor Johnson, is an English photographer, filmmaker, and visual artist who began her career in the early 1990s as a sculptor. Her work includes a variety of subjects, including nature, people, objects, and even self-portraits. The majority of her work is displayed in museums and galleries. In addition, she has done a lot of commercial work, including ad campaigns for famous designers such as Alexander McQueen and Chanel. Also, she has shot photographs of famous celebrities for well-known magazines including Vogue, The New York Times, British GQ, Vanity Fair, and Interview. Aside from photography, Sam Taylor Johnson has developed a successful career in filmmaking. She directed a short film titled Love You More, which won a Sundance Film Festival Award in 2009. She also directed Nowhere Boy, a 2009 film about the early life of the Beatles member John Lennon. Most recently, she directed one of the most talked about films of the year, 50 Shades of Grey, which was released in February 2015. Now let us take a look at some of her work. This piece from Johnson's 2011 Cypher series is a beautiful image of a palm tree in California. The palm tree is photographed amongst the cloudy sky. The black and white color creates a unique effect in the clouds, as the whiter spots are bits of sunlight poking through the darker clouds. The low perspective angle Johnson used has the viewer looking up at the tree. This shows how tall and beautiful the tree really is, as we feel it towering over us. This aesthetically evaluated photo can also be seen as interpretive. This photograph conveys a message of vulnerability but also freedom, which can be seen through both the sunlight amongst the clouds as well as the low perspective. The next photograph we will look at is from Johnson's 2005 Bram Stoker's Chair series. This theoretical photograph, a self-portrait, captures Johnson balancing on a chair defying gravity. The use of side lighting creates a clearly visible shadow of her body on the white wall. The simplistic nature of the photo allows the viewer to focus their attention on the body and really make them wonder how she's balancing and almost floating on such a fragile wooden chair. In another piece titled Bound, we get to see the behind the scenes of how this series of photographs was created. This image is one of the photographs from Johnson's series titled Crying Men, which was shot over the course of 2002 through 2004. This image depicts famous actor Daniel Craig sitting in a chair crying. The way the lighting hits Craig's face allows the viewer to really see the sadness in his eyes. Also, the white room allows the viewer to further focus their attention on Craig's emotional state. This photograph is interpretive because the purpose of this series was to show the deception innate in acting and what people are really feeling on the inside. This piece is from the 2004 series Self-Portrait Suspended. In this photograph, we see Johnson floating above a wooden floor in a white room. It appears as though Johnson is somewhere between heaven and earth. The colors in the photograph really show this message. The walls and ceiling are white, which represents heaven, while the floor is brown, representing earth. Her body position gives off a letting go feel, like at any moment she could be lifted into the sky or dropped to the floor. In order to create this image, Johnson used ropes and a bondage expert, and of course, the ropes were later digitally removed. This is the same way Johnson created Bram Stoker's chair, which is also revealed in her image titled Bound. The last image we will look at is one of Johnson's commercial pieces, a 2010 shoot of Kate Moss for Liberation Next. In this piece, we see Kate Moss on a wooden floor with shadows on a white wall behind her. As you can see, the shadows are not the natural shadows that Kate would have created. Johnson uses the shadows to depict an emotional state. Kate Moss appears in a similar position of an animal, crawling on the ground, looking strong and on the prowl. But it seems this shadow shows fear with her knees bent and her back hunched over. This photo falls under the interpretive category because it has the viewer pondering how the model is feeling.